what do you kind of do? This is the second game in a row you've done that with OKC, and then tonight. Just how do you approach it?
Yeah, I think every time before the game when De'Aaron is not playing, Malik always comes up to me and say you got to be extra aggressive because he's a low for us offensively and defensively. So I just try to go out there and be aggressive on both ends of the floor, and I think that's what I did today.
Davion, without De'Aaron, you guys really, really moved the ball well tonight. 39 assists as a team. Just how much of an emphasis was that?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
Just how much of an emphasis was that, trying to get as many assists as possible to move the ball and share it?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been our offensively. Even when De'Aaron's playing, he moves the ball, but he scores a lot. But I think today we just tried to move the ball even more, try to get easier shots. With not a lot of ISO ball, when you just try to keep the move the ball. It's hard to guard us when we move the ball because we got so many pieces that can drive and shoot, and Domas is just a low down there offensively and everything else.
Davion, as you guys are kind of getting deeper into the season, it start to feel like every one of these wins carries a little bit more significance?
Oh, yeah. I think we go in with the same approach every game. We're going to play hard. We're going to play 48 minutes, like Mike said. no matter who it is, we're going to go out there and give it our all, and tonight we came up with the win.
Did you see much improvement defensively from last game into this one, and where do you see kind of the growth when you guys really focus on a specific area? Yeah,
Mike emphasized it, just helping each other out. I think that's the biggest thing is helping each other out, talking for each other, being there for one another because there's a lot of good players in this league, and it's hard to stop everyone one-on-one. So we just got to be there, protect each other, and be there for each other.
What's the key for you to stay in rhythm offensively when you come in a situation like this and you're getting more run with the starters?
Just be aggressive. Don't think out there. Just kind of just be yourself, be aggressive, and everything will work out for itself. I played this game for a long time, so I just got to be aggressive out there.
Davion, a lot of impressive team numbers in this box score, but is the holding the Pelicans to 49 points in the second half, is that the most important for you guys tonight?
100%, especially coming towards the end of the season. I know these wins, we're trying to get to bigger and better things, trying to get to the playoffs. So we know the playoffs that is going to be defensively throughout the whole playoffs. So we just kind of try to I don't know, kind of just what I was about to say, kind of just get ready for it. Just be ready for the playoffs.
Davion, they shot 60% in the first half. You guys held them to 7 of 20 in the third quarter. What kind of adjustments did you make, or what did you guys do better?
I think Mike and Jordy did a really good adjustment, kind of switching it up when we went zone a little bit, kind of gave them a new look. So they kind of wasn't really in rhythm offensively. They was kind of going ISO ball in the middle, and we wanted that. So I think they did a really good job adjusting that.
Yeah, Davion, you guys have gone to zone a lot recently. In my mind, it's kind of started with that Clippers game. We didn't see it much, though, at the beginning of the year. What has led you guys going to that, and what do you think is the key to being successful when you're running that? I
don't know, just giving the team new looks. If you play man throughout the whole game and they keep scoring, we got to just throw something else at them. I think zone is it's kind of hard to score on because you got to get the ball in the middle, and you get the ball in the middle, it's kind of ISO ball. So we did a really good job of just making them play ISO ball in the middle today.
Davion, just get your commentary on Kevin Huerter tonight. He knocked down 25. He's struggling with his shot there before All-Star break, into All-Star, but he seemed to be getting into a rhythm right now.
Yeah, that happens to everyone. You're going to go through those ups and downs, and I'm glad throughout the process, Kev was being supportive with his teammates even when he's missing. He wasn't down. He wasn't, shady to other teammates. He was kind of supporting everyone else, and today he had his night. He's going to keep playing hard. He's going to keep shooting the ball. That's what we want him to do.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Practicing turning left up and down the aisles. Learning how to
few of my texts at Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, Keegan, you had a rough game last time out. Just how good did it feel to sort of shake that one off and get back out there, and especially your defensive play was really good tonight.
Just keep being active. I mean, I've had a lot of good games defensively. After All-Star break. So just trying to find that consistency and be aggressive on that side of the ball, and that'll help me on the offensive end and get into the game more.
Do you notice a lot of difference when Fox isn't out there, and especially in games for the entire game? Do you guys play any different way, or is it pretty much around the same that you guys come to expect?
Yeah, we don't play any different. We know it's just a next man up mentality. So we just try and use that. We don't change anything offensively. We don't change anything defensively. So we just try and keep consistency with what we're doing, and without him or not, we just try and do the same thing.
Keegan, I don't know, Huerter's really got it going these last 3 games. I just wonder, it seems like there are a few of you guys where when that shot is there, it really makes a big difference. Do you guys feel that?
Yeah, I think with Kevin, especially being as hot as he is right now, it just opens the floor a lot. And you can see his confidence, especially tonight, just coming off screens, being ready to shoot, things like that. So that's definitely a spark plug, especially with him hitting shots early for us.
Keegan defensively went a little 2-3 tonight in zone. When you do that, did you feel that changed the game tonight? And you've done it a couple of games in a row. What's the consistency like in using that?
Yeah, we try and mix things up. I mean, there's a point in the game where we just thought that we'd mix it up and sprinkle in a 2-3 and see what happens. And I feel like that kind of led to us opening the game a little bit and kind of changed how they were playing their offense. So it was a good call by our coaching staff, and obviously changed the game.
He took my question, so I'll ask it this way: how often or how long have you guys been working on the zone in practice?
We put it in at training camp, so it's always been something in our back pocket. We don't want to play it all the time, but at some points in the game you have to put it in, and we've done that, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job when we implement that in the games.
They both took my question, so I guess I'll pitch it a different way. I'm sure you played plenty of zone throughout your career growing up in basketball, but is there any adjustment to specifically doing that in the NBA for you?
I mean, it's just that, obviously guys in the NBA are a lot better, so that's different. But, just the zone, just continue to talk. I mean, compared to college, the NBA is kind of the same thing that we did. So it's continuing to talk, and that's the biggest thing in the zone. If you're talking to one another and things like that, you can play in the zone and get it done.
Keegan, I think you had 7 guys in double figures tonight. I know you have the full confidence that everybody on this roster can score, but is it pretty special to see so many guys being able to step up, especially on a night that Fox is out?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys are really aggressive and are really aggressive in general. And I think just having that deep of a roster that we can go to at any point is big for us, especially if we want to play in the playoffs. So I feel like guys stepping up, especially this late in the year, is huge for us.
Keegan, you guys are getting pretty deep into the season. I think 18 games to go after this. Does it, in the position you're in, does it feel like, I don't know, like the excitement or the tension is like ratcheting up, or is it in some way, are you guys becoming even maybe more calm with just kind of your eyes on the goal and the prize?
Yeah, I feel like our excitement has still been the same since the start of the year when we wanted to play our first game at home. So we know that we have a long way to go to continue to establish ourselves in the conference and get to the playoffs. And it's not easy. We know we have a lot of tough stretches coming up, so we're all locked in each and every game and just trying to put our best foot forward each night.
Keegan, before the season started, right after you were drafted, you said you want to be supportive and, trying to break this drought that's been going on for the last 16 years. So how do you feel about that now that you guys are getting pretty close to that goal?
We're close, but we're not there yet. I feel like I know how quickly things can change in a season. So I just think that was one of my goals that I set out. We haven't accomplished it yet, so it's just continuing to put my best foot forward and trying to help that. It's something that I take a lot of pride in. I really want to do before the draft and before I came to Sacramento. So. Yeah.
So glad you did.
Oh, he brought my book. Who brought it? Evans. Back here, I need a massage. I need like a professional massage. What do you mean? I heard it feels good. So why it hurt? It's like a. It's like a but it still feels good type of thing. That's not like a chiropractor.
They do a lot of their things. They do like the company, they do like the surgery, everything.
What it make you feel relieved when you're done?
You can be sore, and then it's one of those like it's really intense.
I like the chairs though too. Them chairs that get in you.
Yeah.
The chairs get right to it.
So they have a lot of athletes, so they like UFC fighters and stuff. But they have other like regular clients like me. Shit hurts. I tell you, my pain tolerance is high. But when I was in the little head thing, when I was facing down, I was like, oh man.
You was making noises.
I was squeezing a little bit, and they're like, oh, you just gotta breathe. I'm like, that shit hurts. It just hurts.
They always got some strong ass hands.
It's like a mix of like whatever the people and then they stretch. We do like stretches.
No, but I that's the first time you ever had this hurt. Oh well,
Stretch,
well
like
my groin.
it hurts. That's like the one thing I've ever done. was over here like, wow, I was fucking hurt in general. And KG, if you ever get your hips slept on, you sleep like a baby. You didn't never think about how tense you are. Yeah. They do everything. They go, they lay on the table and they shift your leg out.
It was a good win by our guys, especially, after going to New Orleans and getting beat the way that we got beat down there. For our guys to bounce back and play the type of game we played tonight. We obviously played a lot of zone in the second half, and it worked out for a number of reasons. I thought our guys communicated. I thought they tried to keep finding bodies when shots went up, because when you play zone in our league, you're usually in an area, and so you got to go hunt for bodies when the shot goes up. And guys are so long and athletic and quick to the ball that at times boxing people out when you're playing zone doesn't always work out to your advantage. But our guys were communicating, they were into it, and they were able to find ways to get stops while playing the zone. But we had a lot of very, very good performances. I mean, I can go down the line in terms of the type of performances that guys have had that impacted the game on both ends, but especially offensively. Domas, again, I talk about Domas, I talk about Foxy being all NBA players, and they are. Domas has his 8th triple-double of the season, and now he's tied the franchise record. And you talk about Hall of Famers, and Maurice Stokes and and Oscar Robertson. That's who you're in the same breath with now with his 8th triple-double. So that means something, especially with Foxy being out of the game. Kevin shot the ball very well. He obviously facilitated too. So, the way he shot the ball, especially from the three-point line, his pace in the half court, getting guys open, because there were times that he may not have been open, or he may not have gotten the ball, but his cuts are just unbelievably hard. And when he cuts really hard, as well as anybody else on our team, he'll draw two. And a lot of times that means somebody else is open. And so the pace in the half court is something that we have to keep doing. Our bench production with, starting with Trey and Mezzi was fantastic. Malik was good for us in the second half offensively. And then, like I see, you take your hat off to Davion. Davion was really good tonight. 6 assists, 1 turnover. Obviously, extremely efficient from the floor. 3 for 4 from the three-point line, and he made a couple of play calls to get guys in position throughout the course of the night, which were fantastic. He waved me off a couple of times and went to who he felt he should have gone to on the floor, and it was the right call every single time he did it. And so to see growth in that area tonight was special, because he's got a chance to be a special player in this league.
Actually, first off, were you as surprised as the rest of us to see HB pick up a tag? Was that
Yes, and that's what I told. I can't remember who I was talking to. The official I was talking to, I said, it's got to mean a little something, because HB never gets a tech. He never does. And I said, because he doesn't argue. He goes, yeah, he argued on the last play. I said, no. I said, just in general, in general, he's not one to argue. And when he does, probably means something happened, And so I was a little surprised, but, it happens every blue moon.
Was there any? I know you talked about how you've had experience playing without Fox, but given the last really 2, maybe 3 games where defense has really been such an issue, no Fox, you see the early deflections. Was there a little bit of mystery in terms of coming in, wondering how these guys would respond?
No, we've obviously had to play without Fox a handful of times now, and our guys, again, nobody needs to go out there and try to duplicate what he can do. But it just means you're going to get more opportunity. And when you get the opportunity, try to up your level of concentration and how hard you play. And, Davion was great, especially defensively. He was at the head of the snake, and his ball pressure, we felt, started it off the right way for us, and it impacted us and them, we thought, the whole game. So, again, not trying to get anybody to do anything special. We have a rhythm for playing without Fox, although we don't want to continue to do that. And you just look at it as a collective team effort, like it has been most of the times that Foxy hadn't been in the lineup.
Mike, Kevin is 15 of 23 from three-point range these last 3 games, and he had that stretch in February where he was at 29%. How good does it feel to see him? How good do you feel for him to see him get it going, and how I don't know, how vital is that for you guys offensively?
No, it's it's huge for us. He has to be able to impact the ball, the game with his shooting. But what I like just as much as his shooting tonight. He had 8 assists, but on top of that, I challenged him. I challenged him to go get some rebounds, and he came up with 4. He came up with 5 rebounds. At 6'7", and as long as he is, and for the most part, he's in pretty good position. He should get 5 rebounds in a game, and so I'm extremely excited about that. We need to continue to get that type of production from him.
Mike, you talked after the Timberwolves loss about the team needing to do the little things like fight over screens from more often in the game for more 48 minutes. Were you pleased with what you saw, or was that better tonight?
It was better. I still think we can do better, but for sure it improved from the Minnesota game. A lot of little things that we talked about defensively. You can see the growth from that game to this game, and now we have to continue to grow little by little while trying to consistently do it night in, night out.
Like when you go to zone defense, is that a decision you make just to switch things up, or is it maybe matchup based, or there's certain tactical things you try to take advantage of against a given opponent? Like what goes into that decision?
It's all the above. You know, we sometimes you do it to try to break an opponent's rhythm if they have a little bit of rhythm offensively. Sometimes you do it because you know you're not exactly excited about the matchups out there. Sometimes you do it because they're getting into the paint a little too much. And now you say, okay, hey, let's see if the next couple of minutes they can at least take jumpers, and we can test the jumpers and see what happens. And you know, Luke Laux was the one that suggested we go to it, and so we did.
I was literally about to ask that same question. So with the 2-3 zone, though, when do you decide to implement it in the game? When is it a feeling, or is it something where it's like, okay, we got to change things up? Why do you make that decision at a certain point in the game?
A lot of times it's a feeling, or if Luke and or Jordy are just in my freaking ear too much about doing it, then finally I give in. So it's one of those two things.
Hey, Coach. Prior to the game, you talked a little bit about it, but you said with Darren Fox out, to fill that void, it's not going to take one person, but it's going to have to be a team effort.
Right.
I thought when Lyles and Metu came in at the end of the first, there was a sequence where it kind of seemed like an energy kind of shifted. How important is those minutes and that kind of performance from guys like that off the bench?
No, it's huge. You know, we need those guys to come in and impact the game. And again, it doesn't necessarily like they shot the ball extremely well. Between the two of them, they were 10 for 13 from the floor, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that all the time. A lot of times with those guys' length and size and athleticism, there are a lot of times we can switch with that group. And if we do switch, now we're not necessarily getting hurt in the pick and roll because we're keeping bodies in front of bodies, and Mezzi's more than capable of guarding 1 through 5, especially after a switch with the shot clock winding down. And so they have to be in tune defensively, and then they have to be in tune on the glass too. And when they do that and bring the energy that they brought tonight, it gives us an opportunity to rest our guys, our starters, a little bit longer, so that they're fresher towards the end of the game, which is huge for us. Thank you, guys.